This morning, a Central Valley man is scheduled to report to prison. Federal authorities accuse Benjamin Martin of being involved in the January 6, 2021 riot in the U.S. Capitol. But even with President Trump's pardon this week, Martin is being punished. On this Wired Wednesday, GV Wire senior reporter David Taub has been following this case for 4 years now. He joins us with more. Good morning, David. Thanks for being here. So question number one, what is Benjamin Martin going to prison for?
Well, in addition to being accused of the January 6 crimes, during the investigation, the federal authorities had a search warrant for his home, and they found a rifle in his closet of his home in Madera County. And at the time, Benjamin Martin had a previous conviction for a domestic violence case, and as part of that case, he was not allowed to have a firearm. So the federal authorities, in a separate case, tried him, and he was found guilty of being somebody with domestic violence having a firearm. So that is what he's being sentenced for, and that is what he's being reporting for prison this morning.
And what was Martin's involvement in January 6th?
Well, the federal authorities, the investigation accused him of holding the door open at the Capitol. You know, when everybody was coming in, somebody opened the door, and then Benjamin Martin is accused of keeping the door open. And even while the law enforcement was kind of swatting his arm or swatting his hand with a baton, he still, they said that he resisted, it didn't affect him. So he kept throwing it in, and then the federal authorities said, others were throwing objects in there, and some other officers got hit. Eventually, Benjamin Martin stopped. He came back to hold the door open again. So that's what he was accused of. That's what a Washington, D.C. federal jury tried and convicted him of last year. And then he had the second trial in Fresno regarding the firearm case.
And does the presidential pardon, does that apply to Martin?
It does, at least as far as the January 6th case. Now, I talked with his attorney yesterday, his federal defender, and it hasn't officially gone through. At least they weren't aware that it officially gone through, but they are expecting it. So when he reports to prison, the Bureau of Prisons will say, officially determine if that part of the sentence goes on. And the Washington, D.C. judge who sentenced Martin said that for the January 6th case, that's 13 months concurrent total. But of that, only 6 months would be applied to what he got the 38 months for in the firearm case. So total, Martin's looking at 44 months, but the January 6th pardon, if it does officially go through, and they are expecting it to, would be reduced back to 38 months.
And what is Martin having to say about all this?
I spoke with Benjamin Martin yesterday, and he's not happy. He's criticizing the Fresno judge for not understanding the pardon. He called her, Jennifer Thurston, a rogue liberal judge. He actually tweeted Elon Musk last night. Elon Musk said, hey, if you're having problems with your January 6th pardon, reach out. And Benjamin Martin took him up on that offer on X, and he said, hey, this judge is not understanding the pardon. He believes the pardon should apply to his firearm case as well, because if it wasn't for the January 6th case, they wouldn't, have a search warrant for his home and find the rifle, which got him in trouble. So he's trying to link those two cases, thinks the pardon should apply. Federal authorities tell me, well, because that rifle wasn't really involved in the Washington January 6th case, it's separate, the pardon doesn't apply there. So either way, he is scheduled to report to prison today to serve those 38 months, but that case is pending appeal in U.S. federal court. And
so what happens next? Does he goes to prison, or?
For right now, unless something happens between now and the time he reports, he is supposed to report by noon, so we're expecting he's going to report this morning. Unless something happens, yes, and then of course the federal appeals process takes a while,
right.
And if it happens before noon, well, then DOJ is really doing their job of government efficiency.
All right. Thank you, sir. David Taub with GVWire.com, and we always appreciate when you're here on our Wired Wednesday. We'll be right back.